Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to add some graphics to our video clips as well. So let's see here. The very first is just a very basic lower third. Let's actually start with a title though. You can kind of scroll through here. A lot of these look like they're pretty sports related. Let's toggle this down. Let's just search for a title. So you can see with title typed in there that you get a lot of preset title options. And let's go ahead. I'm going to choose film title. So if I take that and I click on it and drag it and drop it, you can see that the title inserts itself here. If I click on the title clip here, I'm going to get all of my options to make changes to this preset. So to change the type, all we need to do is come over here and we're going to click on your title here, and I'm going to call this Premiere Practice. You can call it whatever you like. And then I'm going to change this to the final episode. The final. How about that? Okay. So you can come in here and also look at all the different font options that you might have. Let's see, do I have to have these selected to change it? Probably. So I'm just going to change it to something. So this is how you can kind of come in and change the fonts that are being used. You know, you're going to have whatever fonts available to you that you have in your Adobe suite. Okay, so there's a basic title. Now I can take this and kind of stretch it out, or I can make it shorter if I want. So I'm going to go ahead and make that shorter. Now, if we come in here and let's say we want a lower thirds, which is a typical type that you're going to see introducing a title of somebody or introducing a place. So I'm just going to do this modern broadcast caption, and I'm going to add it to the beginning of our drone footage. Oh, this is captions for broadcast use. Oh, I still have title in here. Okay, let's do thirds. If I type in thirds, it should give me lots of lower thirds options. Here we go. Film, lower third left. So let's go ahead and drag that down. Insert name here. Well, I'm going to put my name, of course. So Carmen, Tiffany, done. Then I can make that a little shorter if I want. Now, when you click on this, there's all kinds of different things that you can manipulate. Again, I'm trying to keep it simple, okay? So here's all of the effect controls, type of stuff that's going on with this particular thing. But just for today's quick purposes, we're not going to get into that. But you can definitely explore in there and see what else is going on. Okay. Now, let's see if there's a rolling title at the end. Nothing for rolling. Let's just get that out of there. Let's pick one of these more visual ones. So let's just, let's just do like sports logo loop. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring that down and see what that looks like. Looks like it's loading it in there, so I'll just give it a moment. My gosh, that is very large. So we're going to go to transform on this one, And we're going to bring the scale way down. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of move it, I guess, to about this size. And let's just see what that's looking like. Yeah, so that's going to give you a looped graphic animation template. And you can change the colors here, you can see. So maybe I want to change that to like a blue. And so it gives you those basic controls. So these are really nice, you know, just depending on what you're trying to do. So I'm just going to leave that short right here. It's not doing anything for my project, but that's okay. Just doing some basic stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. And the next thing I want to do is I need to cut my audio down. I want to fade it in, fade it out, and then I want to have it at a reasonable level. Now, I muted this audio a while ago, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute it. So we're just going to do some basic, effects here. So let's just bring everything up in here, and we're going to go to audio transitions. And basically we can just, they kind of all do the same thing, honestly. They're just a little bit different. So let's go ahead and we're going to do constant gain for the beginning. So you're going to click on that and drag it down and drop it onto your audio at the very beginning. And what you're going to notice is that your audio now fades in. So let's zoom in on that a little bit. You can see that it's going to fade the audio in, and you can adjust this to be longer or shorter. And there's more complexities that you can adjust, but just for simplicity's sake. And then I want to cut the end of this audio off, and I want it to fade the other way as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my razor tool. I'm going to cut this off at the end. I'm going to get my selection tool, select the back end of the music, and cut that off. And then we're going to do a fade here. And we're going to attach that at the end. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit more. And then we can listen to that fade. Perfect. And I'm going to stretch the beginning maybe a little more to match. Bring that out a little bit more. Okay, now the biggest problem with the audio is that it's too loud. You don't want your audio to be too quiet or too loud. So you want to adjust the volume of your audio so that it's at a reasonable volume level. When, you know, those, have you ever clicked on a video on YouTube and it's like super, super loud or super, super quiet? This is where people aren't paying attention in their production, or they don't know, and that's fine. But so we're going to look at our audio levels over here. We never really want our audio hitting into the orange or the red, and this audio is definitely doing that. So we want to turn this down. A good rule is 12, negative 12. That's a really good level to have your audio at. That's loud enough, but not too loud. It's kind of the sweet spot. Especially for vocals and talking. Ambient music could probably even be a little bit lower, like just under negative 12. So let's go ahead and turn it down and we'll see what that's looking like. So we're going to come here. All we need to do is adjust this amplitude. So let's bring it down by 3 decibels, and then let's see where we're at on our levels over here. It brought it down a little bit, but it didn't seem to affect it that much. So let's click on it again. Let's bring it down to negative 6. That's looking better. Let's bring it down to negative 9-ish. Still a little bit too loud. I'm going to bring it down to negative 12, and that should get us where we want to be. And now we're bouncing right between 12 and 15. So that's a good place to be for audio level. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so now we are going to save our progress, because that's what we do, right? We save our progress so we don't lose our project. And we're going to go ahead and export this project. So we're going to go to File, Export, Media, you can see our whole projects here. Everything that we did is all presented to us. Cool. So here's what we need to worry about up here. The file name, practice, MP4, that's fine. We can choose the location to save it. I suggest saving it in the project file where you have everything else, just to be organized. We are going to change something here. So right now it says match source. My suggestion is that we're going to come down to high quality, 1080p, high definition. That is a good setting for, let's say, YouTube. We're going to leave it at an H.264 codec. This codec is widely used, and that's going to give you the most bang for your buck on online streaming. So we're going to probably stick with that, for anything you do in this course. Audio, you want to make sure that the audio is toggled on so that it exports your audio, okay? And that's all we're going to mess with today. That's all we're going to do. So then you're going to come over here to export. You're going to click your export button, and it's going to do its magic. It's going to go ahead and export your project. It's going to tell you that it was exported successfully. I'm going to go ahead and minimize Premiere. I'm going to hide it. I'm going to open up my folder. And here's my video. So it shows you here the dimensions are 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is exactly what we wanted. It's 32 seconds long. Let's go ahead and play it. We get a nice audio level. We've got some text, and we've got our edits in there. So this gets you up and running, taking clips, putting them together, sizing them together, leveling out your audio, applying a few simple effects. So what you're going to do to turn this in, if this is an assignment that you're turning in, if it's a required tutorial in a class, then you're going to be turning it in. Sometimes this isn't required depending on which class you're taking. So you can upload this to YouTube. You can upload it to Google Drive or whatever cloud storage platform or video platform you like, and you'll submit the link to that. You will not be uploading this video because it's 61 megabytes big, and that is a giant file. So you need to upload it elsewhere and link me to it if you're receiving this tutorial as an assignment for points. If this has been listed in the class as just a get up and running with Premiere tutorial that's optional, then you don't need to do that. So, okay, that's it. We're all done. So we're gonna open up Premiere. I'm gonna do one last save here, and I am gonna go ahead and quit Premiere Pro. And we're all done. So got all our files in one place, our final videos here, woohoo. And yeah, let me know, reach out if you have any questions at all.